Welcome to the Lost in History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. A 1918 photograph shows a French soldier receiving a facial support device developed at the American Red Cross studio, led by Anna Coleman Ladd. The image highlights professionals dedicated to aesthetic and functional restoration, using advanced techniques of the time to create custom masks. Women and girls apply radium paint to products in 1922. The image shows the group focused on assembly line work. At the time, radium paint was common on watches and instruments that needed to glow in the dark. A platform attendant passes a baby through the window of a crowded train in Tokyo during a Japanese railway workers' strike in 1972. The image shows the movement of people, interaction between passengers and staff, and the train infrastructure of the time. Zen monks at Asakusa Temple in Tokyo perform protective drills with gas masks in 1936. The image shows preventive training practices, the use of safety equipment, and the religious setting of the period. United States soldiers take part in a 1918 tribute to the 8 million horses, donkeys, and mules that served in World War I operations. The image shows respect for the animals and ceremonial protocols, reflecting recognition of their role in historic contexts. In 1895 in Paris, an express train overran the stop at Gare Montparnasse. The locomotive crossed more than 30 meters through the concourse before breaking through the wall and falling out the window. The accident was recorded as one of the most dramatic in railway history. People attempt to board an airplane in Nha Trang on April 1, 1975, during the period of the United States military withdrawal from South Vietnam. The image shows passengers' haste, the activity at the airport, and the air travel context of the time. A Volvo PV544 collided with the submarine HSWMS Bevern in the port of Lysekil, Sweden. The accident occurred on August 19, 1961. The image shows the car pressed against the submarine, with details of both vehicle and vessel visible. Members of the Ku Klux Klan appear on a Ferris wheel in 1926, taking part in public and social activities of the time. The image shows the group's distinctive outfits, the leisure setting, and their presence in community spaces. In the early 1940s, a bride leaves her bomb-damaged home in London to attend her wedding ceremony. The image shows wedding attire, urban mobility, and daily life even in times of hardship. A train crosses the Dale Creek Railway Viaduct in Wyoming around 1876 to 1885. The image shows the viaduct's metal structure, the elevated tracks, and the rugged natural landscape around it. Workers labor in a coal mine in West Virginia around 1940, showing the routines and working conditions of the time. The image shows mining equipment, protective clothing, and the underground or entryway environment, reflecting local industrial and economic practices. Soviet children receive ultraviolet light baths in the 1980s as part of health and wellness procedures. The image shows medical equipment, supervision by health professionals, and children's care routines of the time, reflecting preventive and hygiene practices in institutions. A group of liquidators works near the damaged Chernobyl reactor in 1986. The liquidators were teams of workers, engineers, and military personnel who carried out emergency operations to contain radiation after the nuclear disaster. A 1964 photograph shows Alaska's landscape after a massive 9.2 magnitude earthquake, the strongest ever recorded in North America. The natural impact is visible on the land and structures of the region, offering a visual perspective of the geological event. A United States Marine tears a portrait of Joseph Stalin after the liberation of Seoul from North Korean Army control during the Korean War in the early 1950s. The 320th Squadron of the Jolly Rogers 90th Bombardment Group appears with the crew of a B-24 in Papua New Guinea a few months after arrival, before the March 1944 incident. Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay appear on Mount Everest in 1953, celebrating the first documented climb to the summit. The image shows climbing clothes, mountaineering gear, and the snowy, rocky terrain, reflecting the expedition's challenges. Photographers and their equipment prepare before a nuclear test at Bikini Atoll in 1946. The image shows cameras, tripods, and other recording instruments, as well as the organization and presence of professionals to document the event. The Beatles' rooftop concert takes place in London in 1969. The image shows the band members playing for an audience below the rooftop, highlighting musical instruments, amplifiers, and the surrounding urban architecture. Douglas Trumbull, visual effects supervisor, appears on the set of Blade Runner in 1982, observing and coordinating film scenes. The image shows filming equipment, models, and special effects techniques of the time, reflecting the creative and technical work behind science fiction film productions. Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill appeared together in a 1980 promotional image for The Empire Strikes Back, highlighting the characters and the film's look. The photo shows costumes, expressions, and the production aesthetics of the saga, reflecting the cultural impact and growth of science fiction cinema at the time. Cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova heads to the Vostok 6 spacecraft in June 1963. She became the first woman to travel into space. The image shows Tereshkova in a spacesuit, accompanied by support staff. The photograph, titled "World's Highest Standard of Living," captured by Margaret Bourke White in 1937, shows aspects of daily life and prosperity in the urban context of the time. Construction of the Eiffel Tower in Paris in 1888. The iron structure was rising quickly over the cityscape. The project was created for the 1889 World's Fair. Ella Fitzgerald stands next to Marilyn Monroe, capturing an iconic meeting between two important figures in music and film. The image highlights their presence, style, and elegance, reflecting the glamour and popular culture of the 1950s. Swedish band ABBA poses in front of the Palace of Culture and Science in Warsaw in 1976 during a visit to Poland. The image highlights the band members, their clothing of the era, and the city's iconic setting, reflecting the presence of international artists in Europe during the 1970s. 1936. Coca-Cola cans are shown, highlighting the brand's original design and the graphic style of the time. The image shows packaging style and visual identity used in the early 20th century, reflecting marketing strategies and popular soda consumption in that period. Telephone operators in New York in 1896 work connecting calls with the equipment of the time. The image shows the structure of telephone exchanges, the headsets, and the attention required for the job, reflecting how urban communication was developing in the late 19th century. Elvis Presley signs autographs for fans in Germany in 1959 during one of his trips while serving in the U.S. Army. The image shows interaction with the public, admirers' excitement, and the artist's personal style of the time. Elvis Presley and Deborah Paget on the set of the film Love Me Tender in 1956. The image shows the actors, period costumes, and the filming environment at the Hollywood studios. The Palais Garnier, the famous Paris Opera House, in 1880. The image shows the ornate facade with stairways, columns, and decorative sculptures. People walk on the steps and the sidewalk out front, highlighting the venue's grandeur. Manhattan Project employees are reminded to keep secrecy in 1945, with a billboard emphasizing confidentiality. The image shows official communication, the work environment, and attention to securing sensitive information during scientific project development. A view from the 107th floor of the World Trade Center's North Tower in 1976. The image shows New York City from great height, with buildings and streets below. One can notice the movement of cars and pedestrians in the city. Yvonne Craig prepares to play Batgirl in the ABC television series Batman in the 1960s. The show became known for its colorful, playful style. The actress helped popularize the female presence in superhero stories. A group of boys in the 1920s is shown listening to crystal radios, all wearing headphones, exploring the new technology of the time. The image shows the devices, the curiosity, and the attention of the youngsters, reflecting the fascination of children and teenagers with radio as a source of entertainment and learning. Bicycle messengers sit in front of their bikes in the United States in the 1890s. The image was taken by photographer Charles H. Currier. The youths pose in an orderly way, showing the bicycles used to deliver messages quickly across the city. The Ford Mercury River Rouge plant in Dearborn, Michigan in 1965. The complex was one of the largest industrial centers in the world. The scene shows the scale of American auto production at the time. Kim Il-sung delivers a speech during a local election campaign in North Korea in 1946. The image shows the leader in a prominent position, the audience present, and the political atmosphere of the time, reflecting mobilization and propaganda practices in the post-World War II period. Red Army Colonel Leonid Brezhnev, appears on the Eastern Front in 1943 during World War II. The image shows the military uniform, insignia, and the wartime environment, reflecting the presence of Soviet officers on front lines and their command roles. An Italian man kisses a portrait of Joseph Stalin in Milan, Italy, in 1953, after the Soviet leader's death on March 6th. The image shows a gesture of respect or admiration, the portrait, and the urban context of the time, reflecting international reactions to significant political events. Queen Elizabeth II inspects flight and ground crews in front of an Avro Lancaster at Royal Air Force Station Warboys in Cambridgeshire in February 1944. The image shows military uniforms, the aircraft, and the monarchy's presence in activities related to World War II, reflecting the symbolic and motivational involvement of the British royal family. Passengers board a new Pan-American Sikorsky S-40 in 1932 during the early years of modern commercial aviation. The image shows the aircraft's design, the flight equipment of the period, and the boarding environment, reflecting the growth of air travel and the passenger experience in the 1930s. Jane Mansfield and Marilyn Monroe appeared together in the late 1950s, sharing a relaxed and elegant moment. The image highlights the style, clothing, and charisma of both actresses, reflecting pop culture and the glamour of American cinema in the 1950s. A tree about 100 to 300 years old that was cut down in 1891. The tree rings show important events across its lifespan. Each circle represents 1 year of growth, recording periods of drought, heavy rain, and other environmental changes. This photo shows a young man wearing headphones in a video arcade in San Francisco, United States. The image was taken in 1982. The place is full of colorful, glowing game machines, with people enjoying themselves around them. Barack Obama, at age 10 beside his father, also named Barack Obama. Obama's father left the family to study at Harvard University when Barack was only 2 years old. He returned to visit the family only once during that period. This photograph shows a man posing in traditional German clothing called lederhosen. The image was taken in August 1927 during a formal photo session. The photographer was Heinrich Hoffmann, known for portraits of the era. A group of boys plays in the Bronx, New York City, United States. The image was taken in 1977. They are on a neighborhood street with apartment buildings and fire escapes in the background. Finalists of the Miss Correct Posture contest posed with their X-rays in 1956. The image shows contestants lined up holding films that highlight spinal posture. Contests like this promoted attention to proper posture and physical health amid public interest in healthy habits and body education. 2,000-year-old terracotta warriors appear newly excavated in China, photographed in 1974, still preserving their original colors before natural fading. The image highlights details of paint, armor, and sculpted expressions, reflecting the skill and planning of the ancient Chinese civilization. An Inca wall in Cusco, Peru, built in the 15th century. The image shows stones fitted with precision, without mortar. The masonry technique reveals the advanced skill of Inca artisans. Walls like this were common in important buildings of the time, such as temples and palaces. A farmer paints stripes on her cow in the 1940s. The goal was to increase the animal's visibility in low light conditions. The image shows the woman applying the paint while the cow stands in the field. Measures like these helped protect animals and made rural life easier. Marilyn Monroe lifts weights in 1952. The image shows the actress in workout clothes, focused on the exercise. Training was part of her routine to maintain fitness and health. United Airlines flight attendants perform pre-flight tasks in 1951. The image shows them checking equipment and documents and preparing the cabin. Tasks include organizing seats, verifying supplies, and attending to passengers. A scene at Coney Island, New York, in the 1950s. The image shows visitors walking along the sidewalks and enjoying rides and concession stands. Families and young people take in the park's attractions and watch the bustle around them. Senator-elect Joe Biden and his wife Nelia cut the cake for his 30th birthday on November 20th, 1972, capturing a family celebration. The image shows the event, cake details, and the couple's interaction, reflecting personal aspects of public figures' lives. Frederick IX, King of Denmark from 1947 to 1972, is shown in this image, highlighting his official presence and the posture typical of leaders of the time. The photograph shows formal attire, symbols of authority, and the ceremonial context of the Danish monarchy. College students appear in their dormitory around 1910 at the University of Illinois, engaged in daily activities and organizing their belongings. The image shows furniture, clothing, and personal items of the era, reflecting the academic environment and student life in the early 20th century. A milkman leaves bottles of milk at a doorstep in the 1950s. The image shows the daily delivery routine, the worker's typical attire, and the domestic setting of the time. A boy meets a girl under the clock at Marshall Fields on State Street in Chicago. The image highlights the iconic meeting spot, urban bustle, and the fashion of the era, reflecting social habits and everyday moments in the city. American troops care for an injured dog on the Orode Peninsula in 1944 during military operations in the Pacific. The image shows the animal, the soldiers, and the setting of the time, showing concern for living beings even in a context of military mobilization. A tired soldier from George S. Patton's Third Army rests on a bed that once belonged to Hermann Goering in May 1945. The image shows the contrast between military routine and a luxurious setting, reflecting the presence of Allied troops in places formerly occupied by historic leaders. Jane Mansfield is photographed walking through the streets of New York with her daughter, Jane Marie, in 1953. The image highlights the fashion of the time, the urban setting, and the interaction between mother and daughter, reflecting everyday life and family moments of public figures. The Fat Men's Shop in New York during the 1950s appears with its facade and display window, highlighting retail focused on larger men's clothing. The image shows advertising style, urban architecture, and the shopping environment of the era, reflecting commercial practices and consumer habits in the city. A huge dollhouse belonging to Queen Mary, wife of King George V, is packed and sent to Windsor in 1923. The image highlights the dollhouse's detailed scale, the care taken in transport, and the setting of the British royal period. Hungarian revolutionary Erika Széles is portrayed on November 1, 1956, during events related to the Hungarian Revolution. The image shows her active presence in the protests, the atmosphere of popular mobilization, and the political context of the time. Leonard Hoa Hoa Dahlgren performs a lift during a competition, showing his strength and technique. The image captures the athlete's concentration and details of the sports equipment of the time, reflecting weightlifting as a professional discipline. A young woman dressed in typical 1930s fashion, showing details of cuts, fabrics, and accessories of the era. The image highlights cultural trends and personal style, reflecting how fashion influenced daily life and individual expression in that decade. An urban electric car by General Motors receives a battery charge, while in the background on the left, the electric EBS Sun Dancer model can be seen. The 1973 photograph shows early efforts to develop electric vehicles, charging stations, and interest in sustainable transportation alternatives. Young men carry pasta poles for drying in Italy in 1947. The image shows them moving the pasta in an artisanal production setting. The job requires care and balance to avoid damaging it during transport. People protest in West Germany in October 1959. The image shows demonstrators gathered in streets or squares, holding signs and banners. The protest relates to social and political issues in the post-World War II period. Caroline Kennedy walks ahead while her father carries her doll, capturing a relaxed family moment. The image highlights the bond between father and daughter, as well as clothing details and the fashion of the time. A naval ceremony held at sea in the 1940s honors crew members of the ship IJSS Intrepid. The image shows officers and sailors, maritime protocol, and event organization, reflecting the Navy's institutional traditions and rituals. Ronald and Nancy Reagan visit the Terracotta Army in Xi'an, China in 1984, observing the ancient sculptures and preserved details. The image highlights interest in historic heritage and international culture, reflecting political leaders' encounters with cultural landmarks worldwide. David Bowie, at 14 years old, appears in this 1961 image when 6 girls invited him out on Valentine's Day. The photo shows the young artist in his school and social life, reflecting personal aspects before the start of his music career. Street cleaning in New York City in 1905 is carried out with the help of a horse-drawn vehicle, showing urban routines before full mechanization of public services. The image shows the relationship between workers and animals, as well as the equipment used to keep streets clean at the time. A city scene in Mogadishu, Somalia, during the 1960s and 1970s. The image shows busy streets with people walking and vehicles moving through the city. Low-rise buildings and open-air markets reflect the architecture and local commerce of the time. On September 29, 1945, 3 of the 7 connected Nore forts in the Thames estuary are recorded, structures that protected British shipping routes against Luftwaffe air attacks and mine-laying during World War II. Inside a Harley-Davidson factory in the 1920s, showing production of the iconic American motorcycles. The image likely highlights assembly line workers, period industrial equipment, and the typical early 20th century manufacturing setting. A man stands on a stone elephant sculpture at the Ming Imperial Tombs in China in 1910. The site is one of the country's most important historical complexes. The sculptures symbolize protection and grandeur along the ceremonial avenue. The image shows Bruce Lee in the middle of his training routine, likely in a dojo or a home practice area. He is wearing light, comfortable workout clothes, often a simple shirt and training pants. In the photo, he may be. Women's shopping, Illum Department Store, Copenhagen, 1904. The photo depicts women inside Illum, one of the city's most refined department stores in the early 20th century. Several notable details appear in the scene. In 1889, Anna Bissell became Chief Executive Officer of the Bissell Carpet Sweeper Company, becoming the first woman in the United States to hold that position. The image highlights her business leadership, the corporate environment of the time, and the female presence in prominent roles. A photograph shows new recruits of the 7th Queen's Own Hussars, practicing balance on wooden horses. The image was taken in 1935. The recruits wear regimental uniforms and are at an outdoor training ground. The exercise develops riding skills and coordination. Actress Marilyn Monroe started a campaign of greeting soldiers to lift troop morale during the 1940s. On her first day in 1942, she greeted 733 men. The image shows Marilyn interacting with soldiers, smiling and offering support. Police approach a man dressed as a skeleton in the 1950s. The image shows him in a Halloween or party costume, surrounded by officers. The event took place on a busy street, with onlookers nearby. Illuminated tires developed by Goodyear in the early 1960s. The design used transparent material with internal lights. The idea was to blend futuristic style and functionality in car aesthetics. John F. Kennedy and a young Robert F. Kennedy Jr. hold a salamander in a bowl. Washington, D.C., March 11th, 1961. The scene shows a relaxed Kennedy family moment, with the future president sharing a curiosity about nature with his son. Model and actress June Palmer works at an auto show promoting different car brands in the early 1960s. The image captures the era's mix of glamour and automotive marketing, with models presenting vehicles to the public. Vivian Bales traveled 5,000 miles across the country over 78 days on her 1929 Harley-Davidson motorcycle. The image shows the motorcycle, travel gear, and the rider's courage, reflecting the challenges of long journeys on the roads of the time.